Hello, everyone, and a happy new year. Welcome to today's NinjaTrader ecosystem event with Daniel of tradingindicators.com. My name is Juanita, and I am the NinjaTrader ecosystem representative here in the NinjaTrader office. Before we get started today, I have a few housekeeping notes that I'd like to go over. At the bottom of the Zoom window, you'll see an icon that says chat. Clicking on it will open the chat window so you can ask questions during today's session. Also, please let me know if you can hear my voice and see the presentation in the room by entering a Y. Perfect. Thank you, everyone, for confirming I am coming in. And those of you who are confirming how chilly it is where you're from, I am located in Denver, and we actually just got a snowstorm, so it's a little chilly here as well. Secondly, this webinar is presented by NinjaTrader LLC, which is the technology company responsible for developing and supporting the NinjaTrader trading software. Brokerage-related questions should be directed directly to our NinjaTrader brokerage team using either the following phone number or email address that I just put in the room. Lastly, if you are new to NinjaTrader, please make sure you sign up for your free live demo, market data demo. Our platform is always free for advanced charting, strategy backtesting, and trade simulation. You'll get a free demo account by following the following link. Lastly, I'm sorry, I just went over that. Before I turn the mic over to Daniel, it's important to understand that futures, foreign currency, and options trading contains substantial risk and is not suitable for every investor. It is possible to lose all funds deposited with your initial investment. Risk capital is money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle. Only risk capital should be used for trading, and only those with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. And for more information or for a full copy of the CFTC risk disclosure, please use the following link. Also, please remember that these training sessions are not a solicitation nor a recommendation, but simply educational in nature. Thank you again for joining us. We give you all a happy new year. And without further ado, it is my pleasure to welcome to the NinjaTrader ecosystem webinar room, Daniel of Trading Indicators. Go ahead and take it away, Daniel.
Yes, thank you. Hi, everyone. Happy New Year also from me. Hailing from Germany today. And yes, and I saw everybody talking about the weather. We actually have around 10 degrees centigrade here in Germany, so it's quite mild. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Just a second. All right. Perfect. And can you see my screen? Can you please confirm? Okay, I think that's confirmed. All right, so today's topic is maximize your odds with our market sense indicators. And I'm super excited to present this today, not only because we're super proud of what we have developed, but also because it's very unique. I think, or I bet many of you have not seen such a suite of products before, especially for NinjaTrader. And we really tried to push the edge this time, and I'm very excited to present it to you today. But before we start, let me quickly reiterate that trading is risky, and you should only invest the money that you are willing to risk in worst case, and hypothetical performance is not indicative of future performance. All right, so having this out of the way, let me tell you a few words about myself. So my name is Daniel, and I believe I'm not the typical trading educator that you may listen to here in these NinjaTrader webinars. I'm actually a software engineer by training, and I worked for many years in big companies. I taught software engineering at the university, and only out of self-interest, perhaps 10 years ago, I started trading. And of course, at the beginning, I made all the mistakes that everyone does at the beginning. I traded too much. I took too much risk. I revenge traded. And after a little while, I realized, man, trading is hard and I need help. And as a software engineer, needing help meant I need better tools that support me in my trading. And this is really how our story began, because I started writing my own tools, which will help me in my trading. And then I thought, perhaps if I find them useful, perhaps others will find them useful as well. And this is how tradingindicators.com, our online store, started. And in fact, many of the products in our store, they started out by being used by ourselves for our own trading needs. And only later on, they made their way onto our store. And being software engineers, we always try to make things a bit different from others. First of all, we're trying to push the edge with everything we're doing. This could be in terms of visualization, in terms of logic that we're using, in terms of feedback that the indicator will give you, and so on. So we're really trying to push the edge. And we have a couple of very important key principles that guide us in all our development. For example, we will never sacrifice an intuitive and useful design over more features. Having too many features, too many signals, too many things on your chart is not a good thing typically, and we value simplicity over complexity. The user experience is just as important as the functionality that we're giving to you. And of course, we listen to our users. Many of our products, they've went through many iterations by now, and many of these iterations were driven by feedback gained from our users. And over the years, our indicators have evolved in that way. Having this said, of course, I cannot do the work myself. We actually have a very powerful team made up of traders, user interface designers, UX designers, software engineers, quants, and so forth. And in fact, my colleague Homa, she's manning the chat room today. And if you have questions, please post them in the Q&A section of Zoom. It should be right at the bottom. And Homa will be happy to answer all your questions. And sometimes she will even interrupt me should that be needed. All right. So we're trying to do things a bit different, and what we have come up for a NinjaTrader is a very innovative suite of products, which I would like to present to you today, and we call these the Market Sense Indicator. Because what's unique about them, and I'm not going to give too much away, is that they kind of sense how well they are working in the current market conditions, and they will give you some feedback as to while they are working, so you can make some adjustments and perhaps get some more confidence based on our indicators. All right, so let's get started. And again, if you have questions, please post them in the chat. So first, today, I will talk about our 360 degrees trading plan, and where we argue that there can be one right indicator for each market condition. Then we look at the indicators that we have developed for different market conditions, which is followed by a lot of live charting, or even challenge myself and program within a few minutes, hopefully less than 5 minutes, an automated strategy based on our indicators, which you can then back test. And we also have a very special offer for you, which we will unveil at the end of this presentation. And one lucky winner will be chosen at the end of this webinar, and he will get, or she will get, an indicator of his or her choice, any indicator which is available on our indicator store, tradingindicators.com. There are only a few things that you need to do. First, you need to stay until the end of the webinar. If you don't stay, you will not be chosen. And the second thing, which is completely free, go to our website, tradingindicators.com, and then either join our community. There's a join field in the main menu. Follow us on Facebook or Twitter. There are some links also on our homepage, or subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you do any of these three things, no strings attached, completely free, then and you stick around till the end, you will have a chance to win a free indicator of your choice, including our market sense indicators, which we will present today. All right, so now that everybody is hopefully psyched up, let's get started. So when it comes to trading, we firmly believe that there is what we call no silver bullet. You will not have one indicator which will work all the time. Indicators, they're typically bound to particular market condition. Some indicators will work better in a trending market, others better in perhaps a fading or reversing market, and other indicators may work better in a sideways market. It really comes down to finding or figuring out what the market condition is and which indicator apply to it. So let's have a quick look at these three market conditions. starting with a trending market. So everybody has heard of a trending market. It's like the most intuitive market condition in which market moves for a prolonged period of time in one direction. And it's typically bound by what we call a sloping channel. The greater the slope, the stronger the trend. Here's an example of such a trending market. We see Tesla on the 1 hour chart. We can clearly see the sloping channel to the upside, which bounds price action to the upside, but also to the downside. We can also see that we are making higher lows along the ways and higher highs. And again, the stronger the slope, the stronger the trend. Now, how can we trade such a trending market? Well, perhaps you've heard about the mantra, the trend is your friend. What does that mean? Well, in a trending market, the chances that the trend will continue are higher than the chance that the trend will not continue and reverse. That's just a fact and statistically proven. And so we can take advantage of this observation and enter in the direction of the trend. What is important, however, is that if we enter into a trend trade, we must give our trade sufficient room. As you can see here, for example, even though we're going upwards, over time, the market bounces back quite a bit. And if we choose, for example, a stop loss, which is very tight, chances are that we might get stopped out, even though the market will continue to the upside eventually. So we must use a fairly wide stop loss when it comes to trend trading, which exposes us to risk, because when we get stopped out, we might lose quite a bit. Now, how can we mitigate this risk? Well, one way to mitigate it is to enter near the lower end of the upwards channel. For example, at this point here, price is approaching the lower bound. We enter long. We set our stop loss below the lower channel, and we're hoping that price will continue in the direction of the trend. But if we get stopped out and price or stop loss is below the channel, we will not lose too much because we entered near the lower end of the channel. All right, so this is for a trending market, but as you know, every trend will eventually come to an end, and it might fall into a sideways consolidation or reverse into the opposite direction. Spotting these reversals is actually quite difficult. As you remember, in a trending market, the trend is your friend, and the chances that the trend will continue are higher than reversals. So spotting these reversals are tough. But there are some signs which you can look out for. For example, the break of a trend line channel or divergence between price movement and indicator readings. Now, in fact, one of our indicators is called the divergence cloud, which does exactly that. It looks out for signs of divergence and colors the chart accordingly, whether we have a bearish or a bullish divergence. And if divergences accumulate and there's evidence that a trend reversal might be imminent, it gives you an entry signal to the opposite side of the trend. But be aware that this is or be careful, spotting these reversals is actually quite difficult, and you might be wrong more often than you are right. However, this should not discourage you, because you can use a very tight stop loss for counter trend trading to mitigate the fact that you might be wrong more often than right. But if you are right, and for example, spot a reversal like here, you're in for a very good entry price, and you might be able to ride the counter trend move for quite a while to make up for the losses that you might have encountered previously. And just to contrast trend trading and counter trend trading, let's have a look at this example. Here, this is Apple on the daily chart. And in fact, it's the exact same price action on the upper half and the lower half. But what's different is that the upper one here shows a classic trend entry. Why is that? Well, we entered when the new uptrend here has been clearly established. We can see this by making, as price makes higher lows and higher highs, but we also have taken out the previous high of the previous uptrend. So signs that a new trend has been established are quite significant, and we perhaps might enter into the market at this signal here as indicated by one of our indicators, which we call 1, 2, 3 strike indicator. Now, on the upper or on the lower half, sorry, we see a classic counter trend entry. And one thing that is obvious right at the beginning is that the counter trend entry happens much, much earlier than the trend entry. Look at this difference here. Over a month, perhaps these are daily bars earlier. Because counter trend entries, they happen at warning signs that the current trend, in this case, the downtrend, might come to an end. This is shown here by, the cloud, the little glow behind the bars is turning greenish. This is our divergence cloud indicator. And we have these little up arrows here. These are all warning signs that the downtrend might come to an end and reverse to the upside. What's significant for a counter trend entry is that you are getting in at a much better price. Contrast this price here around 66, 67 perhaps, and the entry price up here at above 80. Yeah, so you're getting in at a much, much better price because you're getting in early. And this is the big advantage of counter trend trading because you're getting in at such a good price. All right. So
hi, everyone. Daniel, I'm going to interject here. I have a couple of questions. This is Homa. So I have some people that want to know more than, so they want to know if this works for futures and FX.
Yeah, I'm going to discuss this also as we'll be showing live examples towards the end. But yes, our indicators do work for all asset classes.
And Joe wants to know if we use a confluence of indicators for divergence.
Yeah, it's possible. So many traders use our divergence indicator, the little glow, as you can see here, as an extra filter for some other indicators that they may use or some other entries, signals that they might use. For example, let's say super trend or some other indicator gives you a buy signal. You could use the glow, the greenish glow as an extra confirmation for this entry signal, or perhaps as a filter if it goes against the signal. So yes, absolutely.
Casey wants to know if the cloud can be adjusted to see it better.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to discuss all these, but every single aspect of our indicators can be customized.
Okay,
including the cloud intensity.
Okay,
right.
That's good.
Great. Thanks, Soma. Okay, so we need to discuss one more market condition, which is the sideways market. And in fact, it's the most common market condition. Further statistic that about 70% of all times, the market is in some form of sideways consolidation. And in a sideways market, price action is typically bound by levels of support to the lower side and resistance to the upside, while volume, as you can see here, is relatively low. And this happens all the time. After a strong move, market might fall into such a sideways consolidation. But of course, the sideways market can also be traded. And there are many ways how it can be traded. One way, for example, could be to short the market as we're approaching levels of resistance, or go long as you're approaching levels of support. Another way to trade the sideways market is to look for breakouts. And in fact, this is a screenshot which uses our volatility crusher indicator, which spots exactly these breakouts out of a sideways consolidation. If this breakout is paired with some other factors, which I'll discuss in a second, an entry signal is issued. And we might then, in this case, go long at market. And these levels here are our targets that we would like to achieve. And oftentimes, the target is achieved with after such a strong breakout. And this is another way to trade the sideways market. Having this said, however, is that there's no wrong or right way to trade the market. There's no market condition which is better than another one. They all can be traded, but it's a matter of finding the right indicator for each market condition. And we have developed one indicator for each of these market conditions. For the trending market, we have come up with the 1, 2, 3 strike indicator, which is our trend indicator. We have created divergence cloud for spotting reversals, and we have created the volatility crusher indicator to trade breakouts. And each of these indicators are available for NinjaTrader. And before I go into the details, I can assure you that each of these indicators have in fact been optimized for NinjaTrader and really pushes the edge of what is possible with NinjaTrader. So 1, 2, 3 strike, just to give you a quick theoretical overview before we start looking at charts, establishes a strong trend by looking at 3 different factors. Directionality, so price must move into either the upwards or down direction. It looks at volume and volatility. And if all 3 things come together, a signal is issued because a strong trend, or there's evidence that a trend is in place. Now, our divergence cloud indicator is our reversal indicator. And it spots signs for reversals by looking at, as the name says, divergences. And we have created a unique form of what we call volatility divergence. It's actually based on some empirical facts that we observed in the market, which I cannot go into it right now. But it turns out that this form of divergence is what shows to a fairly high degree of probability that a trend might reverse. And as you may remember, we've also underlaid price action with our glowing cloud visualization, which makes it very easy for you to spot whether we currently have a bullish or a bearish divergence. And finally, we have created the volatility crusher indicator, which is our breakout indicator, designed to spot strong breakouts out of a sideways consolidation. And it requires a few more other things than just strong price action in one way or the other. And when we look at charts, I will explain to you what these other factors are. Now, one last thing, I mentioned that our indicators are built for NinjaTrader. They use all the features that NinjaTrader comes with. They are fully compatible with, for example, the market analyzer in NinjaTrader or the strategy builder in NinjaTrader. Perhaps some of you have already experimented with the strategy builder, which allows you, without any programming knowledge, to create your own automated strategy. And of course, our indicators are fully compatible with that. We also have equipped our indicators with what we call instant efficiency technology, or short IET. And I will demo this to you as well. And I will not say too much about it right now, because it's always better to see it live in action. All right, so without further ado, let's switch over to the charts. I'm just going to quickly look at the time. All right, perfect. So let's go to NinjaTrader. I will open up this chart first. This is a daily chart of Apple.
Hi, Daniel.
And yes.
I have a whole bunch of questions here. So
okay.
Do we have some time to go through them?
Yes.
Okay, great. Casey wants to know if there's a scanner that can identify the stocks that are breaking out with the crusher.
Yeah, this is called the market analyzer in NinjaTrader. And our indicators work with the market analyzer.
A few users want to know if these are just indicators or can they be used automatically? For example, with our strategy builder.
Yeah, they are indicators, but as I will demo to you, hopefully, if we have enough time, it is super easy to create your own automated strategies based on these indicators without any programming knowledge. So hopefully I can demo this to you in a couple of minutes.
Okay, and then let's do this one last question, and then I'll keep the rest for later. Dan wants to know if the indicators detect whether it is trending or ranging and give us the signals accordingly.
They actually do something better, and let me just get you there, and you will get your answer. But yeah, they do something along those lines. All right.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thanks.
Great. Thank you, Oma. Okay, so let's have a look at this chart. It's Apple on the daily bars. And I just would like to show you the example I had on my slides early on. On top here, we have the 1, 2, 3 strike indicator applied to the chart. And as you can see here, an entry signal, this green triangle, was issued at this level here. And so this is an entry signal. And then we have these triangles going into the opposite direction. These are suggested exits because our indicators, and all of them do it, they not only tell you when you might want to go into the market, but they will also tell you when to scale out of your position. In this case, we have a few partial profit targets here along the way. And of course, these are customizable. So you can define how many partial profit targets you would like to have. All right. Talking about customization, everything, colors, bar coloring, these lines, the line styles, the size of these signals, they can be customized. So I'm not going to go into how to do it, because I think this is, if you use NinjaTrader, this is fairly self-explanatory, but everything can be customizable. Now, at the bottom here, we have our divergence cloud indicator. As mentioned before, an indicator designed to spot early signs of reversals. And here we have an entry signal, again, as identified by this triangle here. And along the way, after the entry, we have a couple of partial exit suggestions where you might book partial profits until eventually you go flat with the final triangle here. And again, the number of partial exits that you'd like to take is a parameter that you can set. And we also have, for the divergence cloud indicator, this little glow behind the price bars. And somebody said it's a bit hard to see, but also this can be adjusted. So the reddish glow shows you a bearish divergence. We currently have some bearish divergence here, which might be an indication that trend or price might reverse. And a greenish glow, is shown here, is a sign of bullish divergence. Again, showing you signs that price might reverse to, when other factors also come together, to the downside. Sorry, now I misplaced that. A reddish divergence is bearish divergence. And it's not a sign that this, so I completely messed this one up. So let me start again. A reddish glow is a sign of bearish divergence, saying that, well, price might reverse to the downside. Of course, it's bearish. And then eventually we have some greenish glow here, which is a sign of bullish divergence, indicating that price might reverse to the upside, to the bull side after a downtrend. And up here again, we have signs of bearish divergence, indicating that price might reverse again to the downside. All right, so now I've got it right. As you can look here, well, the indicators seem to work, quite nicely. It's, at least this is the impression when going through the chart. But of course, this might be just a coincidence. I might just show you a small snippet of what's going on. And wouldn't it be nice, everyone, if we had some empirical statistics, which would give you some indication of how well the indicator has been working so far? Well, we have built exactly this into our indicators. And let me just switch over to a different symbol. This is again Tesla on the daily chart. And we have the 1, 2, 3 strike indicator applied to the chart. Now let me go to the settings, right click, and I go to indicators. And now I can configure the settings of the indicator. And I'm going to go down here a little bit, and I will enable this checkbox here, which stands for Instant Efficiency Statistics. I will enable it. And once enabled, you will see this little box up here, which will show you some numbers. It shows you a number called long efficiency and another called short efficiency. And this is for the look back period, which started at the beginning of 2021, and shows you how many of our signals, based on this historical data, would have been winners versus how efficient were our signals in terms of winners versus the overall number of trades. We can see here that statistically, and historically speaking, that 75% of our long signals were winners, and roughly 54% of our short signals were winners with this configuration. And now, the cool thing, if I now go back to the settings of this indicator and perhaps change something. So let me maybe change this parameter here, the volatility period parameter, from 7 to perhaps, I don't know, 17. I'm just making this up. And now observe the statistics up here. I click OK, And as you can see here, they update instantaneously. So now with that change, I can see that historically speaking, now my long efficiency has increased to 90%, whereas my short efficiency went down to 46%. This is a very nice tool for a trader to figure out how well an indicator has been dialed in to a particular symbol and time frame. And because the settings, they may vary from symbol to symbol and from time frame to time frame, because every symbol obviously has different characteristics, different styles, and require different parameterization. And now with these statistics, you have the chance to see how well a parameter change has worked out or has not worked out. So, and we have built in these statistics into every of our indicators. So just for the sake of the example, let me apply Divergence Cloud to it. So I go to indicators and I'll pick them from our the subfolder here. It's called tradingindicators.com. And if you have one of our indicators, you will find all of them in this subfolder called Trading Indicators. I will go down to Divergence Cloud. I will apply it. And IET, Instant Efficiency Statistics, is checked. I click OK. And also here for Divergence Cloud, I can see these statistics shown on the chart. And the same holds true for our volatility crusher indicator as well. Now, one more word. You probably wonder what these statistics or what these parameters that every of our indicators comes with do. I will not have time to go into detail of it, but rest assured that every of our indicators comes with comprehensive documentation. We've even recorded 5 hours of videos, which we call the masterclass, which explains to you in detail every single of these parameters and how they can be used to fine-tune an indicator to a particular symbol or time frame. Now, our indicators, they also work, they not only work on the daily time frame, but you can also use the indicators on lower time frames. And just to prove this, I have applied here the 1, 2, 3 strike indicator to the S&P E-mini futures on a 5-minute time frame. And you can see here that, yeah, it seems to pick up some nice moves as well. So there's really no restriction as to which time frame to use our indicators on or which asset class to use them on. They can be dialed in to any asset class or any time frame. And the same holds true also for the Divergence Cloud indicator. In this case, apply again to the S&P E-mini futures, in this case on a 15-minute time frame. And again, you can see that these signals are being generated and they tend to be quite spot on with an efficiency rating of 70 or 60% based on the historical data on the chart in the given look back period. All right, so these are 1, 2, 3 strike, our trend indicator, and Divergence Cloud, our counter trend indicator. But there's one more indicator I need to show you. In fact, this is my favorite one because of personal preference. I like all of them, but for some reason, this one speaks to me the most. This is the volatility crusher indicator. In this case, I have applied it to the NASDAQ futures on a very low time frame, on a 3-minute time frame. And in fact, this indicator comes with 2 components. The main component is on top of the chart here, where you can see the entry signals, as well as the profit targets and the stop loss, which is a trading stop in this case. On the lower end here, in the sub panel, you will see what we call the volatility crusher tunnel. It's merely meant for some supplementary information on how to understand how this indicator works. Now, the theory behind this indicator is that it will spot strong breakouts in terms of volatility. And just a quick explanation, this purplish line here, and this is just a bit of theory, you don't need to use it in your trading, but this purplish line here is the current volatility. The yellowish line, the dash one, is the smoothed out, the average volatility of this very raggedy line. So it's the smoothed out version. Based on the smoothed version, we have calculated a standard deviation to the upside and downside of the average volatility. And whenever the current volatility, so you can see here, breaks above the upper standard deviation, a signal might be issued if other factors come together as well. Because this signifies abnormally high volatility based on recent market conditions. So here we have a signal, an entry signal, which is then followed through quite nicely by a move to the downside. Here we have a signal to the upside, again, with a nice follow through where both our targets, profit target 1 and profit target 2, are hit. The dotted line here, that's the stop loss. So this indicator comes with a predefined stop loss level. So as you enter into the trade, your stop is placed at a certain level. And as your trade progresses into the right direction, this stop is being tightened. This is actually a trailing stop to lock in profits. And it is my favorite indicator because it has the highest probability. So your success rate is quite high, which has to do that the targets are quite near as well. So it just feels good to trade that way. You have more winners than losers for sure, but your winners are, compared to the losers, a bit smaller. That's why you have a bigger success rate, but it fits my trading style. So that's why I said this is my favorite indicator. And also this indicator can be dialed into any type of market condition in any time frame. Here it's applied to the 3-minute time frame, but it also works even on the daily time frame. Yeah, and it has also our IET statistics, as you can see them down here. All right, Homa, do we have any questions?
Yes, we do. We have a lot of questions. So let me see where I can start, and then we may have to save some of them for the end. But I thank everyone for their interest. It's actually really exciting. Okay, Ed wants to know what is the lowest time frame he can use. Is it 1 minute or even 30-second charts?
Anything. Yeah, it all comes down to finding the right parameterization of these indicators. But we've used our indicators on tick charts even, so it is possible.
Okay. Do the indicators peak at futures indexes? Are they able to be used for futures indexes?
Yeah. Well, here we have a future symbol. I'm not sure what you mean by future indices, but yeah, any asset class. Mm-hmm.
Okay. We have a few users that want to see how this will work on futures and on intraday. Would that be possible?
Yeah. Well, we can see it already here. This is an intraday chart on the NASDAQ futures. So
okay.
Yeah.
Let me see what else I have here. Do the signals repaint?
No.
Okay.
No, once printed, they will never change.
Okay, we have another one here. It says on the split apple chart, the signals on the top and the bottom charts didn't agree, and they in fact disagreed. So in this case, do we have to manually decide which indicator to use?
You would have to manually decide, but it is normal that the signals are not the same because they're based on a completely different logic. So for the Apple example, we had a trend indicator on top, which requires this that a trend has been clearly established first. So naturally, signals will come later. The other one is a reversal indicator, which looks at early warning signs that trend might reverse, with the objective to get you into the trade at the best price possible. So it's actually quite complementary in that sense.
Sean wants to know, he's not sure what the stats are exactly showing us. I believe this was for the example of the divergence cloud that you showed just before the crusher. So because he's saying that stock was chosen, that if you had just bought and hold, it would have done better for the divergence cloud.
So yeah, these stats actually, they're not a full back test. They are meant to give you an indication how well the parameters or how well the indicator is working for a particular chart, symbol and time frame. And in fact, all you see here is the ratio of winners versus overall trades. So that's all they show. They don't take into account trade size or partial profit taking or stuff like this.
Okay, 2 more questions, Daniel, and then I think we're good for now. Tova wants to know how much lag time before the signals to enter or exit show up.
The signals are generated at the end of the bar. As soon as the bar closes, you see them.
Okay, great. We had another user that had that same question, so perfect. And then Achim wants to know, does the software work on Renko and tick charts?
Yes, they do.
Perfect.
Any chart type, there's no restriction to that. Okay, all right, so let me quickly go back to my slides. And I had planned, and I was a bit worried about this, to give you a quick demo of how you can build your own custom strategy using the NinjaTrader strategy builder based on our indicators. I don't think we have enough time to do it because there's another thing, a very important thing, and actually the key part of this presentation is still missing. And I'd rather go to do this first, but rest assured, we do have comprehensive documentation, and we hold webinars, and we cover this topic quite frequently, so you will not miss out. And I think what's important to know for you guys is that yes, it is very easy to build your own automated strategy with our indicators with no programming knowledge. And I think I skipped this for now because there's something else I need to show you, and I've been dying to show it to you because this is really brand new. It is so brand new that we only have implemented, because there was no more time, for one of our 3 indicators. But not for the other ones yet, because it's just really brand new, but it's super awesome. I'm so excited to show it to you. So let's have a look at this volatility crusher indicator, because that's the indicator we implemented it for. If you agree with me, it is quite tedious to go into the settings, change something like here, maybe from 44, this parameter to, 30, click apply, look at the recalculation, see how the statistics change, and maybe then change it back and so forth. So it's tedious. It takes a long time, and it's not fun. And all we do is, and everything we do is that the user experience is most important to us. We're thinking, isn't there a better way for you guys to find the best parameters for an indicator? And we came up with something. So let me open up this chart here. This is the latest version, just released today, of Volatility Crusher. So you don't see the statistics right now, but you see this little widget on the top right of the chart. This can be dragged around just for fun. It's nice. You can position it wherever you want, but you can also click on it. Once you click on it, you will see the statistics, which you already know about, the long efficiency and short efficiency. But then we also have this arrow here. And once you click on it, it will show you all the parameters that the indicator comes with. The look back period, smoothing period, and all the parameters that you've seen in the settings of the indicator. And now look at this. I can now simply drag here, and instantaneously in real time, my indicator will update. Not just the statistics, but everything on the chart. The entry signals, these boxes, these stop losses, the profit targets. So it makes it very easy for you to find the best parameters for your indicator. Yeah, you can dial it in literally within seconds. See, there's no need to go tediously to the indicator settings, change it, click apply, go back, observe the statistics. You can simply now drag these parameters to your liking to find the signals that you like by either looking at the statistics or perhaps just looking at the chart. If you like the signals, you can enable parameters, you can disable them, and everything will make a difference on the chart instantaneously. And we have just released this. This doesn't exist on NinjaTrader anywhere in the world. It's based on our own invention, and we've created this widget for the Volatility Crusher indicator. But we're currently working on implementing the same widget for Divergence Cloud and 1-2-3 Strike as well. And I hope you like it because I think this is so exciting. I could play with this all day long because it's so much fun just to see the effect of these parameters. And it makes it easy to find the best configuration, but also it's good for you to understand what a particular setting is doing and how it impacts the visualizations on the chart, the signals on the chart. So I find this super useful, and I hope you like it as well. And because it's so brand new, we decided to not only demo it to you today, but also make or bundle a super great special around this new technology. And because it is only available right now for one indicator, you're actually getting a big discount, because once it's available for all 3 indicators, the prices will go up, because we think it's very unique and hasn't been done before for NinjaTrader. But if you sign up today with us, you will not only get the volatility crusher widget, which I just shown you, but you will also receive in about 1 to 2 weeks from now, once it's finished for the other indicators, a free upgrade for the other indicators with this widget as well. And you will grandfather it in at the old price, which I will show you to you, because this price will go up. So if you sign up with us today, you will get lifetime access, never a payment again, for our 3 indicators: the 1 to 3 strike indicator, divergence cloud, and volatility crusher, each of them equipped with this widget to instantaneously update the settings of the parameter. You will also get our 5-hour masterclass on demand, where we explain every single detail of our 3 indicators and how they can be used for our trading 360 method, which trades every market condition a bit differently. A trending market differently from a reversing market, differently from a sideways market. And you will get access to our personalized customer support. You'll get a custom email address you can email us to, which will put you ahead of everybody else when you have questions regarding our bundle. So we're offering this typically at a value of $1,399, but only today we're offering it at a 50% discount for only $697. So for $697, you get all 3 indicators. You will get the awesome update widget for Volatility Crusher. In about 2 weeks' time, you will get a free update to get the same widget for Divergence Cloud. And for 1 to 3 Strike, you will get the Masterclass on demand, 5 hours of videos explaining every single detail, and you get VIP customer support. So I encourage you to take advantage of it, because our price will go up once we have all 3 widgets for all 3 indicators implemented. But because we're still missing 2, they'll be done in 2 weeks, we are offering this discount today. All right. So if you want to take advantage of it, all you need to do is to go to our website, tradingindicators.com/market. And Homa, can you please also paste this link into the chat? So go here. We have prepared a product page where you can see all the details of what is entailed in this bundle. And you will get it today at $697 instead of the full value. So tradingindicators.com/market. Market stands for our market sense indicators. All right. So I encourage you to take advantage of this, but we also have a lucky winner today. Homa, do we have someone who stayed around till the end?
Yes, we do.
Signed up? Yeah.
Yes, we do. And the lucky winner is, and I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Achim Stollen from
He sounds German.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
He let me know that it was -1 where he's at. So Achim, if you could please email us at info@tradingindicators.com, and you can claim your free prize.
Great. Congratulations, Achim. That's awesome. All right. So yeah, congrats. And to wrap things up, I would like to mention that our indicators, they're optimized for NinjaTrader, and they work amazingly on NinjaTrader. NinjaTrader is a super awesome platform, especially with the strategy builder, which makes it so easy to create your automated strategies of it. Now with our widget to change the settings on the fly, you have another tool to your advantage that you can use to fine-tune your indicator. But having this said, we also offer our indicators for other platforms: TradingView, Thinkorswim, MetaTrader, Motivwave, TradeStation, MetaStock, and Wealth Charts. And if you trade on any of these platforms, you can take advantage of our indicators and of this special as well. All right. So last but not least, make sure to go to our indicator site, tradingindicators.com/market. And finally, I would like to thank NinjaTrader for giving us the opportunity to showcase our products We are super proud of them. I'm so excited to show you at least the preview of what we already have for Volatility Crusher into this widget. It will be fully rolled out in about 2 weeks' time. So yeah, I encourage you to take advantage of this offer. We have also many other indicators available on the NinjaTrader ecosystem. So if you want to take a look, visit us on our page on the NT ecosystem. And of course, if you have feedback, as I mentioned, we listen. Please email us. Just go to tradingindicators.com/contact. Any questions, any feedback is welcome, good or bad, because it only helps us to further advance our products. All right, guys. I hope you liked this presentation. Again, if you want to take advantage of the special offer, offered at a half price today, instead of $1,399, only $697, just go to tradingindicators.com/market. All right. Homa, do we have questions?
Yeah, we do, but I'm not sure if how much time do we have? I'm going to ask Juanita, because I think we're out of time.
Yeah, we actually are just a few minutes over.
Okay.
I'm willing to stay an extra 5 minutes if you guys want to do 5 minutes of questions. That's totally fine with me.
Let's do it.
Okay, that would be great. So I will go. I have a bunch of questions here. And for anybody that I don't get to, please make sure you email us at info@tradingindicators.com. We're always happy to answer. And I just wanted to assure a bunch of our users that there was no special treatment for our winner because he's German. As some people said, he was actually chosen randomly. And he just happened to be German. So just to put that out there. Some people want to know, how will this work if they already have the power bundle in terms of being grandfathered in?
Yeah, just email us. We'll figure something out.
Okay, perfect. And I think that's the same case for anybody that already has it on another platform. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, does it make sense to have one chart with optimal long parameters and a separate chart for optimal short parameters?
Yeah, it makes absolute sense. And I didn't mention it because I was rushing a bit, but another advantage of having these numbers available is that you can see how well the signals are working either to the long or short side. And often you will see that perhaps the signals are not working well to the short side, or perhaps not working well to the long side. And this is just as important to know than knowing that something is working well, because this will keep you out of a trade and potentially keep you out of loser. So absolutely. So if you can use these numbers to stay away from a losing trade, wow, this is just as good as getting a winning trade.
Okay, great. Just bear with me for a second. I'm trying to, the chat's kind of all over the place. So I have to go up and down. Will these indicators work with dark pool bars? This is from Joe.
So they work with every kind of price bar. In short, I'm not sure what dark pool bars are exactly, but if they have open, high, low, close pricing and volume, it will work.
We do have a whole bunch of questions about pricing. Just to be clear, although Daniel is in Germany, we're actually a Canadian company. And we do have a lot of both US and European clients. So if there's anything that's happening that's not working out for you on our e-commerce site, please make sure to email us and we will correct it right away.
And one thing I've seen a few clients getting irritated by this is that you might be charged sales tax on this transaction. This is not up to us. We don't see any cent of that. This is deducted directly by the e-commerce system and goes straight to your government. There's nothing we can do. If there's sales tax, depending on where you live, that's something you need to live with, unfortunately.
This is a question for Juanita. Is this recording going to be available for everybody?
Yes, we record these events and it takes about 24 hours to complete the rendering of the video. And so by tomorrow afternoon, you will receive an email confirming the recording and that it is put up on our YouTube channel.
Okay, perfect. So I think we've actually used all the time we can. Juanita, thank you so much for letting us go over. And thanks to all of the users. We're thrilled about all the interest that we've had. We're going to be starting having more sessions about the Power Bundle this new year, so please keep tuned. And if there are any questions that we didn't get to, please make sure that you email us.
Thank you so much, Daniel and Homa. I really appreciate you guys sharing with us today. Everybody in attendance, like I just said, will receive an on-demand recording of today's event, so keep an eye out for that email. If you enjoyed today's session, we hope to see you in future webinars. We'd like to remind everybody that the information provided was of tradingindicators.com and not of NinjaTrader. All information is for educational purposes and should not be construed as trading advice. Enjoy the rest of your day and have a happy new year. We hope to see everybody in future webinars. Happy trading from everybody here at the NinjaTrader ecosystem. Thank you again, Daniel and Homa. It was really